Ugandan scientists are giving in their all to fighting the notorious HIV/AIDS virus by studying its behavior using the viral load approach by creating a 24-hour study network in a standard viral load laboratory. The Central Public Health Laboratories, located on plot 911 Buganda Road in the capital Kampala, studies more than 2,500 blood samples each day. Viral load monitoring is currently the in thing as far as HIV treatment is concerned in the recent times. This scientific era comes in the wake of the sad discovery that the CD4 count approach is actually irrelevant to the current fight against HIV/AIDS virus. To this effect, a group of scientists headed by Dr. Charles Kiyaga, partnering with the Ministry of Health, put up Central Public Health Laboratories (CPHL), a modern viral monitoring laboratory. Dr. Simon Chibuka Kalyesubula, the monitoring and evaluation expert at the Central Public Health Laboratory, confirms that this laboratory has mastered the art of studying how the virus multiplies in the blood, which enables them to administer drugs for the viral suppression.
This viral load estimation in Uganda is as old as probably the HIV/AIDS control program. There have been efforts because it is the best way to tell at the earliest opportunity when the treatment you are giving to a patient is failing or succeeding. If the treatment is succeeding, you continue seeing the viral load going down. That's what we call viral load suppression.
Although the scientists are determined to serve all in need of the viral load service, it is not a bed of roses. Grace Kshemerera is a senior laboratory scientist at CPHL. She reveals that the laboratory, which operates 24 hours a day, receives on average 2,500 dry blood samples each day from different parts of the country.
The identifier at this facility, and this is the identifier for our laboratory. One thing you should note is we are handling these samples with bare hands because these are dry blood spots.
A team of 12 data clerks come in as early as the sun begins setting, and business continues through the night with the night shift.
This data that is entered captures both the patient information and the laboratory information. So the patient information includes, which line of treatment they are on, when the date of treatment initiation, and actually at this point, the data clerks are able to tell whether this person is eligible for testing. So at this point, we are able to also reject samples. Besides entering data, we also isolate those that actually do not need that test.
Data is then sent to the processing room for doctors to dissolve the dry blood sample into liquid using laboratory films using the Telstar Bio 2 advanced machines.
So this machine is a real-time machine. It does both amplification and detection at the same time, or what is usually termed as real-time PCR.
The process to study the number of viruses in the diluted blood continues to the biohazard department, where actual sample extraction is done. This is what is popularly known as DNA study.
We have a testing capacity. We run a 24-hour lab. We operate 24 hours, and we can test about 2,600 samples on a daily basis.
Blood is not only studied here. The scientists go ahead to understand the nitty-gritty of someone's plasma in the plasma processing room. These science gurus say this is a very risky venture, as plasma is highly infectious once in direct contact with bare body parts. It is equally a hectic exercise since it needs maximum speed and machines to keep it frozen at all times. They handle 1,000 samples from Kampala alone, since it is not easy to ferry them here.
Identification and detection.
Finally, results are recorded with Roche machines. This is how they will determine how high or how low the viral load someone has, and thus who is eligible or illegible for ARV treatment. I am Fatuma Nalwanga for Urban TV.